Hi, for this week's project, attended a webinar. It was on the 17th and 18th of September um, seminar, but it was called Defending Immigrants Impacted by Criminalization, in which I thought it was very helpful given we are talking about criminal law. So in this seminar, it talked about legal strategies, evolving the challenges. It was hosted by the Immigrant Defense Project, and it brought together, there was a bunch of attorneys, advocates, and policy experts just talking about how these areas of law today intersect with criminal justice. And I think they used the word crimigation is what they called it. So crime and immigration together. Um, so it was a 2 day seminar for really designed more for people who are actually practicing. I just thought it would be interesting to learn about. The main goal was to strengthen the lawyers or have a good legal system or support to defend the immigrants who are facing consequences because of criminalization, such as like arrests and convictions. It was kind of unique because on one hand it did provide like training for the attorneys who may never been introduced into immigration practice besides the typical what you learn in law school, which I don't even know if that's what you learn. um but on the other hand, it does kind of give a solution or strategies that those attorneys who have been practicing into immigration law can keep up with these developments in these law and policies. There were a few things that I wrote down that I thought I should share. One being they had mentioned legal consequences, so it walked through how the criminal charges affected immigration status. Even a misdemeanor would affect it, which is something that I really didn't even know. Um, but they gave attorneys tools to recognize these consequences and kind of get around them. Then there was strategies for defense and relief, so kind of the same thing that I just spoke about, um, but it just said how defense attorneys and immigration lawyers can work together for like plea bargaining. My bad. Post conviction relief and other like criminal litigation strategies. And then lastly, I wrote down that they had mentioned data sharing and what to know for your clients. So that's like how police and courts are increasing shared, or how like their data is shared across systems, and sometimes they are directly with immigration enforcement. The concern is that if someone does settle a criminal case or wins, not settles, their information could still be put into ICE. Um, so even if they weren't convicted, it's still gonna get back to ICE. The panelists also discussed how these clients are at risk with harmful data sharing, which I thought was super, super interesting. But to close it up, the seminar was more about technical training and equipping the attorneys rather than informing the public. But it was good to hear they did talk about strategies, case updates, even, and tools. Lastly, at the end, they did leave like an impact on me when they had kind of reminded the attorneys that it's not just about legal work, It's about protecting their families and communities. So I thought that was really good. Um, but yeah, so that was a seminar I attended on the 17th and the 18th of September. It was, I want to say, hosted by, or the website that you could look at it for is um, the Immigrant Defense Project. I think that's what it is. .org maybe. But it was a really good seminar. I probably want to attend a little more, not on immigration, but I think it's pretty interesting that like the in and outs of law that people don't really see. But yeah.